Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Movie Bucket here on Screen Stealers. After you grab your popcorn, your soft drink, I certainly grab a soft drink, and maybe even the soft pretzel. It's time to talk about another movie. I'm Brooke, and if you're not going to go have fun with me, I'm going to go have fun by myself.
As you should.
And hi, I am River, and it's a harsh world. She said, life is hard. Life is unfair. Is it life is unfair?
Life's not
Life's
fair.
unfair.
Life's not fair. Yes.
And hola, I'm Eduardo. And act your age, not your shoe size.
Doesn't work. It doesn't work for Brazil because that's different. But
Do you guys
Yeah.
use euro sizing?
it's a little different. But it's like ours is two. Like if the European, like you just -2.
Makes sense.
That makes sense.
Definitely works here.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. So, as the second installment in our River Birthday Takeover for July, if you missed the end of our episode last week on Matilda, we are talking about Uptown Girls from 2003, starring, including but not limited to. Let me get the Wikipedia page up so I don't forget anybody from this cast. Brittany Murphy, Dakota Fanning, Marley Shelton, Donald Faison, Jesse Spencer, Austin Pendleton, Heather Locklear, and then some cameos from some other folks later on in the film as well, among others. So, River, why'd you choose this movie? Let the people at home know.
Right. So, like I mentioned before, I had not seen this movie in like years, in a long time. But I remember loving this movie especially when I was a teenager. And so one of the reasons is that I myself wanted to revisit it. And the reason that I wanted to share it with you is the reason I remember loving it is that I always related to both Ray and Molly for different reasons. In the sense of the way that I experience the movie is I kind of see it as like my Christmas ghost of Christmas past and present, whatever, you know what I mean? As in, I always felt when I was a kid that I was too adult for my age. And then when I became an adult, I felt like a kid. So I kind of feel like both Ray and Molly in a way. And one of the other reasons that I really like this movie now, watching it after losing my dad, it's one of the things that I really noticed that is an important theme is how both characters deal with the absence of their parents for different reasons in different ways, in two very extreme ways as well, and how them coming together makes both of them kind of find the balance that they needed and by relying on each other and kind of learning from each other. So I thought the aspect of dealing with grief is something that I don't really remember noticing that much from previously watching, and is something that I really enjoyed at this time. But I chose it because I really just always resonated with the two main characters, right? That's like the main reason, and that's why I wanted to share it with you.
Yeah, so
I don't think either of you had seen it, right?
I haven't, no.
Okay.
first watch for myself and Eduardo, and of course we watched for River. I was gonna get there, but
Okay, yeah.
yeah, you're good. So I'm just gonna go ahead and let the people at home know, because this is the first time I think this has ever happened. The three of us have three very different opinions on this movie. And as such, today's episode might feel a little bit different than normal, and I'm kind of excited to see how this turns out. So
Yeah, we have the full spectrum. I love it.
Yeah. So let's just go ahead and get it out into the open. I have the lowest score out of the three of us. River has the highest score out of the three of us, and Eduardo is in the middle. And I will say, mine and River's scores are quite polarized, and Eduardo is pretty much in between those two scores about evenly. So just know that's where we're at today. We are going to be debating not arguing.
And we all have
debate.
different like scoring systems and reasonings as well. So like maybe a certain score for you means something else, like the same score would mean something different for me. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
vice versa. But yeah, let's get into it because it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. So the first thing I just want to go ahead and open up by saying this. Normally, I am a huge Brittany Murphy fan. I think she is great in a lot of stuff. Rest in peace, of course.
Yes.
I think she was really great in a lot of different movies. I really like her in 8 Mile. I cannot believe that they didn't give her a supporting nod for that movie. She absolutely deserved one. 8 Mile didn't get anything but Best Original Song at the Oscars, and that's criminal. Beside the point. She's really good in Girl Interrupted. She's in that Abomination Happy Feet, but like she's done good work in her career, right? I did not like her in this movie like at all. And I don't want to say it was maybe Brittany Murphy's fault. I think a lot of it is just I really don't resonate with Molly. And we're going to get into the why. I just want to get that out of the gate because I feel like that might be the biggest split between the three of us here today is how we feel about Molly. Because that kind of strongly impacts how you view the rest of the movie, I think. Is if you like Molly, you're probably going to like the movie more. And if you don't, you're probably going to like it less, is my general perception of the room.
Mm-hmm. So, okay. So let's talk about Molly. Because to me, Molly is, we see, one of the reasons I like her character is that we see like an arc. She has an arc. We have a beginning, middle, and end of growth, right? I think maybe we can all agree on that, right? Like at least we can see that in the movie, the growth, her character growth. I think throughout most of the movie, she's really annoying, but I don't think the movie's trying to make it like she's not. You know what I mean? Like, I think she's annoying and sometimes has endearing moments. And the more that we get to know her, it's like she's still annoying, but you kind of understand why. And it kind of goes back to what I mentioned of like how both of the characters dealt with the absence of their parents and their situations, whatever. Because it's like kids with rich parents and famous parents are already become like kind of fucked up people. And imagine that, but without your parents, but just their money. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I wouldn't expect her to be like a well-centered and, regular person. She's, she has a lot of flaws, but she's also, I enjoy watching her learn. And like it's when she's in denial, in the beginning, she's very like spoiled and she's very like out of touch, and and then watching her slowly face reality and like slowly learn, but still kind of keep that like whimsy and kind of child joy kind of in a way, like that kind of I think of like Joy from Inside Out, literally kind of that like perky all the time and kind of personality, even when she's like going through it and she goes through it, we see it, she's still like endearing in a way. And I don't know, I understand that she's annoying, and I there's people that are just gonna be annoyed, but I don't know, I think it's fun to watch, but I still think she's like really annoying. I wouldn't want to, like, she's a bad friend at times, but then like she also like has a redeeming arc with that. Like she's irresponsible, but then she's also starts learning. Like, I don't know, I find her interesting, at least.
Yeah, for me, Molly, half of the movie, Molly is unbearable. She is annoying. She is spoiled. She is the worst in humanity, and she like. I will say this. Actually, I think every single character in this movie is annoying.
But she's
I
not
don't
malicious,
think.
right? Like that's the.
Yeah, sure, not malicious, but they're all
But
annoying, and they all piss
yeah.
me off at some point or another. And Molly does it the most because she generally thinks that everything is about her, and there's a lot of pet peeves in humanity that I like genuinely hate that Molly has, which is, that entitlement, that just being a total idiot and still managing to have a better life than the rest of the people around her. Like she doesn't care about anyone else other than herself. And it's just she's just really annoying, and I just did not like her. Uh, it isn't really until halfway through, or even a little bit farther than that, where she starts actually like learning from Ray, and I'm like, oh, okay, now Molly's acting like a normal human being, and she's no longer as annoying. So yeah, she goes from absolutely unbearable and someone that I was like, I don't know if I can get through a whole movie of Molly acting like this, uh, to someone that is bearable, that like, clearly has grown and understood and like learned from the kid that she's been tasked with raising, basically. And it's there's an interesting arc there, like you said, River. But yeah, I will say, I think it takes a little too long to get there,
Mhm.
because Molly, I don't think I would rewatch this movie, because I would not have fun for the first half of the movie at all,
Mhm.
uh, which is unfortunate. But yeah, just not Molly. I don't know. I have mixed feelings on Molly.
I will say, with all of her flaws, she is the one character that like really does care about Ray.
Oh yeah,
Like she really
absolutely, and
does.
I think that's
Because that's
good.
the thing. Like at first she doesn't, and she's kind of like annoyed, and she's like, she's not really great at first, right?
Yeah,
But when she and she needed a reality check, and she got it, which to me is satisfying, to watch a character that is annoying and entitled get a reality check that they deserve.
yeah,
Like maybe it could have been a bigger reality check, or like maybe she could have had like bigger consequences, maybe. But like to me, it was enough, because the movie's not trying to be like that serious either.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, it was satisfying to see her like getting what the consequences of whatever, and having to learn, being forced to kind of face reality. And Ray being a part of that, and I don't know. I to me, the part that I enjoyed the most about her character is when we watch that switch of when she starts really caring about Ray.
yeah,
And then because she cares so much about Ray, now she can learn from her. And then she starts growing.
yeah.
I'm just gonna be honest. I don't see that at all. Like for me, it was the entire time for, I'll even say, for more than an hour of this movie. It's an hour and a half long. It is just, Molly is the most unbearable, self-centered human being I have seen in a movie in a hot minute. And yeah, she is, and she has that whole thing talking to Neil, like, and every time Neil,
Oh,
like,
delusional.
yeah, delusion. He
Delusional.
is very clear with her multiple
Delusional.
times.
Yeah.
Like he sets boundaries. And I will say this: him coming back to her and saying he wants to be with her now. Yeah, that's him being scummy. She has every right to say what she said there. But he sets boundaries with her like 3 or 4 different times and says, "I'm not looking for a romantic relationship. I You're just too flighty. You're taking me out of the space I need to be in, where I'm trying to focus on my career. Like we can maybe date, but I'm just not there right now. You screwed up my lucky jacket, and also you're flighty and you're constantly moving things around in my world that I don't want messed with right now. I don't want to see you anymore." Right? She never respects the man's boundaries, ever. And he sets them constantly with her. Now,
Yeah.
is he shitty to her back later in the movie? Yes. But he only really messes up twice, which is one, when he still uses that song to get famous and get signed and uses the jacket in the video after he broke up with her over it, pretty much. And then two, when he says that he's ready to be with her now. Why should she wait for you? That doesn't make any sense. But we're not talking about him yet. We're talking about Molly. every little thing about her is just the most self-centered human being I have ever seen in a movie, probably. And then suddenly, just immediately, when Ray's dad passes away, flip a switch, she is suddenly the most competent, put together human being in the film. Right? Now,
not really. I don't think she's ever painted as that. I mean, I'm not saying that is a reason to like her or anything. I'm not saying if you don't like her, you don't like her. That's fine. But like, I don't see her being painted as. I just see her being painted as better than she was before. But I don't see her being painted as this amazing. It's just the fact that she cares about Ray. I think that's the one thing.
Okay, caring about Ray is great, and clearly, their relationship does build up, clearly, right? But the last interaction that the two of them have before Ray's dad, the situation where she's talking to her dad, is the two of them at Coney Island, right? And that whole scene just kind of presents it like she's still not really getting the whole vibe of the situation. Now, I'm not going to knock her for how she appears in the last 20 minutes of the film. I'm not going to say anything bad about that because I think that's when she's actually watchable, right? But you cannot convince me that the person who burnt these cookies in the oven and tried to put it out with this jacket that she has been treasuring the entire first half of the film, that has gotten into a fist fight with this other kid's au pair because they called her a whore, right? This girl that is so obsessed with living this upscale lifestyle that she's living with her friends and not really doing much else, and she's nannying but only because she kind of has to. She's just you cannot convince me that person is the same person that is suddenly so well put together almost immediately. And it's not that she's a perfect human. Clearly she still has flaws. We see it at the end of the movie when she almost misses the performance at the recital at the very end, right? But she's suddenly knows what she wants to do with her life. She has found her calling in fashion because of this jacket, and she starts going to fashion school because fundamentals are the building blocks of fun or whatever. Why did none of us use that as our tag? That's what we should have done. I just don't see these people as being the same person. And it's hard for me to see that when we don't really see her gradually become more competent, right? It's almost like she just is suddenly competent. She's wide awake and competent after Ray's father passes away. And I just don't buy it. I think Brittany Murphy does the best she can with this material because Molly can be funny. I'm not going to say that Molly's funny multiple times throughout this movie. I specifically really like when she's in the park and she jumps off the bridge into the sewer water. I thought that was funny. I loved that. That scene was great.
Lady, that water is filthy.
So fucking dramatic.
If you don't get out, I'm going to call the police. I'm getting out. I thought it was great. But as a character who I want to root for, it's just not there for me. It's just not. And because this movie so hinges on liking Molly and her relationship with Ray, it naturally takes a lot of my enjoyment for a lot of the other scenes in the movie. And that sucks because I think, moving to the other half of the pair here, I think Dakota Fanning does amazing work in this movie. I think that Ray as a character is really interesting and really engaging. She's a bit annoying, but she kind of needs to be for her character development to work and for her growth to happen. And I believe her. I believe her fully. The way she's written into the script, she makes perfect sense to me. I'm down. I get it. I just don't feel the same way about Molly.
Eduardo, what do you think?
When it comes to Ray, as I said, I think most of these characters annoyed me for about half of the movie. And Ray, although I do think Ray is funnier than Molly, or at least I laughed at more of what she was saying than what I was laughing at Molly with. I think Ray is funnier. But when it comes to her actual personality, there's also a lot of my personal pet peeves that Ray has. of like, this uppity, like this uppity noseness of it all, this kind of like my uh my music is real music and your music is fake music. This kind of idea of like, I don't know, it just feels very, like you said, very adult, but like in a very kind of like, um, I don't know how to say it, like just like not like, I don't know, it just feels weird, and like I was not connecting to Ray for the first half of the movie, and I get it, like you said, Brooke, like that's the entire point. Like she's supposed to be incredibly annoying for the first half of the movie, so that she can get an arc where she does get better and she becomes more like a normal child, and she actually starts living her life and having a good time being a child. Uh, which, I did like that arc once we got there, and once we got to see the different side of Ray, that wasn't always just this kind of like monotone energy. It was really cool, and like the scene where she she runs away and she goes to Coney Island and gets on the teacups and throws up and then starts fighting Molly and they start slapping each other. That scene was really cool. But as I said, I think it took a little long for us to get to where we needed to get to. If we started getting more of the energy of like, oh, they're starting to learn from each other how to be more like themselves, I think I would have liked it more. But yeah, Ray was funnier, just not. I just wish we could have gotten to where we got a little bit quicker than we did.
Mhm. Uh, yeah. One of the scenes that I really do love. One of the scene, my favorite scene of this movie is the teacup scene, and this is where I'm gonna bring up what I was thinking of putting on my headline, which is shout out to this letterbox review for this movie. Two girls, one teacup. So the teacup scene, where because okay, because we have there's a part where like first Ray gets sick and then Molly gets sick, right? And then they like kind of take turns taking care of each other or whatever. And in one of those moments, Molly tells Ray about she's like, oh, you're right, I am scared, whatever. And then she tells her uh about the time that after her parents died, she ran away to Coney Island and she went to the teacup, and then we saw like young Molly like on the teacup spinning, whatever. And then I love the connection of like um Ray doing that, because also the first time that they went, like Ray tried to hide her excitement about potentially going to an amusement park for the first time, and also trying to hide how upset she was when she found out that it was closed, with the like crying and then hiding with the glasses. Love it, love that. Um, and so like that connection, that to me makes the scene at the end, and the fact that like Molly remembers that, and like Molly is the one that is able to find her because of their connection. And when they do, and then I love that she arrives there, she sees Ray and she doesn't even say anything. Like she just gets it. She just gets in the teacup and starts spinning because she knows that is what she needs. Like she just needs to just keeps spinning, not swimming, spinning.
Just keep spinning. Just keep
Just keep
spinning.
spinning. Just keep spinning. And that to me, like for the way that I mentioned before, like the way that I relate to the movie, right? Because there's the way that there's what the movie is doing, and there's what we're getting from it, right? So what I get from it and the way that I relate to it, with kind of seeing Ray and Molly as two different versions of myself in a way, because I relate to both of them in different periods of my life. That teacup scene to me is kind of like me and my younger self together spinning and helping each other, kind of thing. That's how I take it, and that's why it's one of my favorite scenes. And also like the beat, the punching to hugging and crying, love.
Yeah,
So
did
relatable.
love that.
And
Yeah,
here's the thing, Molly is annoying, and I understand why people wouldn't like her. Like that's understandable. But a few things about her, the way she acts, kind of reminds me of how I was when I was 22, because I was going through a lot. I was being terrible. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I also, if I met myself back then, I would be like, oh my God, girl, stop.
No one likes who they were when they were 20. Like, I mean, I'll be real. No,
Right, exactly.
Here's something that I try to say about myself all the time, which is the person I am now
Early 20s.
would be embarrassed of the person I was 5 years ago. And that's a good thing. Personal growth is a good thing.
Yeah, that is true.
Exactly.
Yeah, so like,
yes.
I don't
being
want to
delusional and like
putting
putting out like being like crazy about guys, or like the way that she is with Neil. Of course, I was never like that exactly, but you know that kind of being like, oh, why doesn't he go away? And then when he's going away, you're like, oh, but why are you going? You know what I mean? That kind of like, you're like, girl, what do you mean?
Yeah,
but that's relatable to me because I used to be.
I would like to say my single favorite moment in this entire movie is after they get off the teacups, right? Mm-hmm. And they're both just standing there, and then Ray just smacks her, right? And then she catches her second hand, and then she smacks her again with the other hand, right? Mm-hmm. And then she just starts hitting Molly. And in that moment, I'm like, yeah, this is why Dakota Fanning is an incredible actress and always has been.
She's amazing.
Because, and I will say, that scene I bought Molly completely, because yeah, she totally gets this. Obviously, she knows how to handle this situation 1000%. But watching Ray go through that is one of the reasons, like, Dakota Fanning is just so good at everything. Okay, add Dakota Fanning to the list of people. Cast Dakota Fanning in more things.
Yes, Dakota Fanning in more things. Please. Also, that last scene of her dancing and like having so much fun.
That was so cute.
So much.
River, they did Little Miss Sunshine before Little Miss Sunshine did it. At the
Basically.
Like, literally.
Kind of.
Now, not to the same degree. I think the Little Miss Sunshine scene is way better.
Right.
But like, we're also comparing
scene specifically. Yeah.
We're also comparing one of the best dramedies of the 2000s to an okay film. You know, but no shade, but like one is very much a much more like serious film, and one is more like just a straight.
Well, one is Oscar nominated, and another one is not. So yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But like, okay, because here's the thing. Just to bring this up, this movie has a 4 on Letterboxd,
okay.
3.8 something.
Yeah. So let's.
So I just want to say respectfully, I respect your opinion, but you are a minority in general.
No, I'm not. Here's the crazy thing. Okay,
Rotten Tomatoes, yes.
Okay,
yes.
So when this movie came out, it got panned, right? Like the critics did not like it. When it came out, now it has a 14% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yes.
And then you look at Letterboxd, and it has a 4.0, right?
The people
and it's
love
like,
it.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where. But even then, it flopped when it came out, too. It wasn't immediately successful. It gained that cult following over several years, and now it's become a much more loved film in the same way of like a Hocus Pocus.
It's not a critically acclaimed movie by any means.
Yeah, well, it's literally just Hocus Pocus. It was the same thing. It didn't do well when it came out. Nobody really saw it. And then at some point, it grew that fan base relatively naturally. And then suddenly, it's one of the most beloved classics from the time period within this group of people. And it's not like it has a low number of reviews. It has a lot of reviews on Letterboxd.
Right. It's not like as niche as you would think.
Yeah. You know, the only American film critic who liked this movie when it came out, Roger Ebert. I wonder why. That's my man. That's my man's. I love him to death. Even if I don't agree, I love this man to death. He said that in his review. He compared Brittany Murphy to Lucille Ball, and I can kind of see that. So he also was rather infamously a very big Brittany Murphy fan, and the idea of him not liking a Brittany Murphy movie, that would never happen. Mm-hmm. That would never happen.
One thing that I want to shout out that is one of the things that I love so much about this movie is Molly's wardrobe and apartment, even though it's messy, which also today my house is more like Ray's room. I'm very much like that. not with the germ part, but like with the organization and the whatever. But I used to be very much like Molly. But her apartment and her outfits eat. I'm obsessed. I want every single outfit. That's just my dream. It would be very overstimulating to wear those outfits, but in a perfect world, I would love to be able to wear them.
Yeah, the wardrobe department.
And she is so stunning. Like, can we just quickly I want to just gush over how beautiful Brittany Murphy is. Stunning.
She's beautiful.
Beautiful. Oh.
Beautiful.
No, but like really at some point when it was just like her face, I was just like, oh my God. I kind of got lost at looking at her face and like, oh my God, she's so pretty.
She was, well, okay. And I mean, we haven't really had this kind of conversation since we talked about, God, it's been a minute since we've had an actor, pass away relatively soon after a role. Brittany Murphy, when she passed away in 2009, she was only 30. Yeah, she was only 32. And I will say this, the big thing that people have said for years is that we don't know how Brittany Murphy died. Yes, we do. We very easily do know how Brittany Murphy died. It was a lot of contributing factors. But she did have pneumonia, and that caused her to have a cardiac arrest. But people have said that, she was also on some substances at the time as well. She was anemic. So she had just a lot going on, and unfortunately passed away far too young. And it is something that, Dakota Fanning talked about it after. She said she was thankful that she had the opportunity to work with her because she was, I think, 9 when this movie was filmed, 8 or 9. So she it's really interesting looking back at where, timelines shift a lot, in my opinion. And we look at like where we could be at now. I feel like if Brittany Murphy hadn't passed away in 2009, there's a very strong possibility that she would be one of the most celebrated actresses in the world today. I really do feel that way.
She would be kind of a Lucille Ball. She could have been.
Yeah. I mean, well, look, it's 2026. She would be almost 50. If she were, she'd be, almost 50 if she were still alive today. And the amount of work that she put out in the late 90s and early 2000s, that was just really good quality work. I have no doubt in my mind that we would be looking at Brittany Murphy, because today I feel like she's kind of forgotten in that wave of people in the 90s and 2000s to our generation, for the most part. Unless you're like a clueless
not
fan.
Here though, not here.
Not
in
here.
This household.
Not in this house. I feel like if you're looking at unless you're like a clueless fan or you're like, the movies she's been in that people would know her from. A lot of people just don't really recognize the talent she had. She was a really great actress. And even if I don't necessarily love the material in this movie, I think we need to put respect on her.
Did you like her performance here?
I think she did the absolute best with the material that she was given. Okay. I think if you gave this to another lesser actress, this movie would be 10 times worse to me.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that there's someone that could have done a better job than her? Just like out of curiosity, because I feel differently, right? But like just out of curiosity.
Offhandedly, no, I really don't. Okay. I'm really trying to rack especially in the time period. You need like a mid-20s. Relatively fresh face in Hollywood,
yeah, and I do really enjoy I personally like both Dakota Fanning's and Brittany's performance here, but I also really love their chemistry together. I think they really work together so well here. Both, to me personally, both the characters and the actresses. Work together well.
Yeah, I will say that's the big plus of this movie is I don't think anybody, I will say, has a bad acting performance in this movie out of the main cast of people. I think everybody's doing relatively great. It was lovely seeing Heather Locklear in a movie. I haven't gotten to see her in something in ages. And then also I do like Jesse Spencer because I am a House fan. So it was nice seeing him in something as well.
Of course you're a House fan.
And talking about Neil, Me too. Yes. When I forgot that it was him, that like he was the guy in this movie. I forgot that it was him.
Mhm.
Then when I saw him, I was like, oh yes, yes. And I will say, I understand Neil breaking his no dating rule for Molly within hours of knowing her, because I would too. I would
I
too,
mean,
personally.
I
Just for,
For
mean,
Brittany
at least
Murphy.
for just like
For Brittany
yeah,
Murphy. Get it?
yeah, for
maybe
Brittany
not for
Murphy,
dating, right? Because then you would get to know her and be like, okay, love that for you, but like that's too much, right?
but
For
not for me though.
something
Yeah,
serious. But to have fun, oh hell yeah. Oh hell yeah.
yeah.
I have
Like,
not.
like yeah, I will say, I think most men are like, oh, I won't, I'm not the kind of guy that like has sex. I have like sex prohibited, or like, I'm not dating anyone. They're the guys that immediately, when they go on one date, they're immediately like, I want to have sex with this person, and like has sex on the first date. So I was not shocked at all that when Neil just like started hanging out with Molly, he was immediately like, yeah, I want to have sex with her. So not shocked
Yeah.
at all.
I'm just gonna say for myself, I have not cringed more at a romantic scene in a movie more than I cringed at the damn Pez scene in this movie.
It's so
I was
stupid.
so cringe. I was like,
yeah, it
It's
was.
really stupid.
no, 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 no. Okay. Also, while I'm thinking about it, okay, so when they first get to the club at the very beginning of the movie for Lily's birthday, right? And there's that song playing in the background. It's like, okay, I immediately clocked that music because I know where that damn song is from, and it's not from this movie. Okay, so we're stealing score from Disney Channel original movies now for this film because this is in Kim Possible: A Stitch in Time. This is in the scene where Kim is auditioning for the cheerleading squad. It's the same damn song.
That is a deep cut.
I am a
that's
stalker.
crazy.
I am a Kim Possible stalker. I am so sorry, but
But you know what? Respect.
Yeah,
Respect.
I respect
no, but
it.
I cannot tell you the amount of times I have watched that one special, and the second that music came, I was like, "Where's Christy Carlson Romano?"
The
Where's
little
Queen?
ears went up like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of music, should
I
should
agree.
we talk about it?
I agree. It's bad. Of course it's
It's
bad.
bad.
It's terrible.
It's so bad.
And you know what is funny? When he came back to like beg, like ask for her back, whatever, like be like, take me back, Molly. And he said that since he last saw her, he couldn't write a decent song. And I was like, babe, the first one wasn't
never
decent either. Like
could.
not even the first.
You never
Babe,
could.
I have news.
Like, were they
It's camp
starving?
though. It's bad, but it's I think it's supposed to be bad. I think it's
Eduardo,
intentionally bad. I hope it
Eduardo,
is.
you're gonna get this really easily. This felt like a Dora throwaway.
Like a what?
Dora, the Croatian national selection.
Oh,
like a Dora
yes,
throwaway.
absolutely, absolutely. This absolutely is
Not
a
even good
Dora
enough for
throwaway.
Belfast. This is a
No,
Dora
absolutely.
throwaway.
Yeah, this is a Dora throwaway. This is a Dora, one of the ones that they have for like in case anyone drops out, they can just throw it in there.
The
Yeah,
baby lasagna slot, of course.
yeah, yeah. The baby lasagna. God, sheets of Egyptian cotton. Wild name. Were we starving in the early 2000s for actual good music? Because there's no way. There's no way that anything like this could actually like launch a career in anyone in music because it's bad. It's really bad.
Well, but it's because he was sleeping with I don't know if she's a producer or whatever. Like, because to me it was implied that the way he got the deal was by sleeping with Ray's mom.
Yeah, with
No?
Roma.
So
Yeah, probably.
It wasn't clear, but that's what I assumed.
Yeah, but even if
But
he
still.
did get that, even if he did get signed because he slept with Roma, we see it at the very end when he goes to the recital and all of the girls start screaming for him. Clearly, the girls like him, and clearly he has a dedicated fan base by this point, which is
Well,
crazy
but
in
a
and of
lot of
itself.
good-looking men with bad music have that, so
Well, yeah,
that's realistic. Like,
well, yeah, but still, the fact that like he has this
but the
awful,
song is
awful,
horrible.
awful,
Like, yeah.
the fact that
I
he has a
mean,
horrible song, he is like yeah, it's crazy.
yeah. I mean, look, we live in a society where like pop songs are just so mass marketed that like if you're a pop music fan, they will find a way to market to you. That's just the way it is. We live in a society where Justin Bieber's "Baby" was a massive hit. Okay, and that song is terrible. Like from a production and
Yeah,
songwriting perspective, that song is garbage.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's it's been happening forever.
Mhm.
yeah,
It's just here. It's like it's clearly bad. It's like they're not. It's not trying not. I think it's because it's not trying not to be bad.
yeah,
Mhm.
At least for me, and I hope that the people producing this movie made this song bad intentionally. Because if
yeah.
they
I
were
would
trying to
hope
make it
so.
good, they failed. But
Yeah. So I would like to. I feel like I need to say this very quickly. Um, Jesse Spencer, one of the very few people in this movie that actually boosted the star rating of this film to me. Because I think it could have been very easy to make Neil feel just like a using schmuck, right? With the material here, he could have played it like he's just kind of sleazy and nothing really interested in him. But we see throughout the movie there's a little bit more to him than that. Um, and even when he has his, in my opinion, only really bad moment, which is when he's trying to get back with Molly towards the end of the film, um, when she calls him out on it, it seems like it gets to him pretty quickly, and he understands that yeah, that was shitty of me. Which is why when he performs at the recital at the end of the movie, I'm like, yeah, this is cute. This works for me. I think it's a quick turnaround that makes sense, and I think he did a really good job with the material here as well.
mhm. Yeah, I really do love the moment of the recital when like she finds out what or she figures out that he was the one that bought the collection, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because she gets fired, and then because of getting fired, she has to sell. Like she didn't want to sell the personal things, the guitar or whatever. Um, and then figuring out that he bought it, and what I imagine is that he would give it back to her after, or maybe, or some. I don't know. I would hope so. Um, but just okay, two things that I really like because in the recital there's that, and then there's also the fact that Ray's mom, after everything that happened with like Ray uh running away and like going missing and everything, and I think Molly could have had maybe I don't know if Molly in the moment where she confronts Ray's mom and says like, "Oh, you only do what she says so you don't have to deal with her." Like she's right, but the way that she approached it before she said that, I don't know if I agree necessarily if that was like the best approach to talk to a child's mother when that child is missing and you're the nanny. But she was correct with pointing that out that like uh the mom was saying like, oh, Ray's dealing with her father's death really well because she was just like doing homework, whatever, not noticing that like her daughter is avoiding feeling like he's running away from feeling whatever, like anyway. um After all of that, we see that in the recital like she's there helping Ray with her outfit like last minute whatever, like maybe we see that at least a little bit. Ray's mother is starting to like learn something from all of this as well. um just like everyone else that we kind of like we see, because we see character growth for pretty much everyone. For some characters than others, but
Mm-hmm.
at least for like the four main characters, right? Like Roma, Neil, and then Molly and Ray, we see enough character growth that we can, by the end of the movie, you at least are neutral or like the four main characters in a way. And at least for me personally, they all fulfill their redeeming arcs for me as characters.
That's fair.
And just
I'll,
watching Ray have fun, like that scene of her dancing is just like it brings me so much joy.
yeah.
So I'm gonna say something, and I do not want this to be taken the wrong way, and I
Yeah.
want to be very clear. This is just my subjective opinion.
Yeah.
I thought the ending scene was like really, really bad and like really, really tacky and like really uncomfortable for me. And I think not necessarily on Ray's part. I think like her performing that way was great for her. And that's something she needed to do to be able to let go. Because that's the entire thing for Ray in this movie is that she is so wound up the entire film that finally being able to have that release is just so good for her. It's the thing she needed, right? And the catharsis of getting to perform to a song about, you know, the singer singing for their daughter after her dad passed away, that's good for her too. She gets that healing moment. It's good for her. The guitarography from the backup ballet dancers in this scene, I couldn't do
Yeah,
it.
it's not
I
great.
couldn't do it, Scoob. I tried. I really did.
You know
Like
what? That's fair. That's
yeah,
fair.
it was just so like it pulled me out of the whole thing. Because we're at this like very like they're not serious, but like we're at a ballet recital, and then suddenly all of these girls are just performing with these expensive real ass guitars, right? Um, while Neil is singing the song that has been said by Molly to clearly cause her some amount of emotional distress, right?
Mhm.
And based on her reaction to Neil coming out, she did not know this was happening, clearly.
Yeah.
So like I don't know. I'm happy that in
Well,
the end it all kind of worked out. But this felt like it
mhm.
could have been really insensitive if Molly wasn't at the place where she was like comfortable with it. And then also on top of it, the actual performance other than Ray was just so distractingly tacky that I couldn't get invested in the scene. And I feel really bad about it. But like
Yeah.
watching those girls stick the guitar up by its end and then spin it on the ground. That's where they lost me.
Beyblade, let it rip.
The Beyblade let it rip the guitars. Exactly.
Uh, well, I wanted to bring two things up, which I thought like were definitely on my mind. First of all, David now Navarro is in this movie, which is crazy to me because I did grow up watching Ink Master, and him just randomly being here is absolutely shocking to me. Why is he here? Why is he in Uptown Girls? Have no idea. But you know what? I'm not gonna complain. The other thing is
Eduardo, do
Molly's
you not
dad.
know what Dave Navarro did before he hosted Ink
No,
Master?
I know him. I only know
He
him
was
for Ink
he was
Master.
the he was a member of a band called Jane's Addiction. They were like very popular. He was also a
Never.
guitarist in the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Like he was a
Oh,
rather famous musician before Ink Master was a
yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
I
He's
I
not a
just
Jeff Probst that got famous just from hosting.
yeah, of course. Like I knew that he had done more than just host Ink Master. I just only ever knew of him because of Ink Master. I was very young when I started watching Ink Master because my dad just put it on the TV, and so I knew him from that. And then did kind of hear that he had done music in the past or that he had done other stuff, but Ink Master is where I knew him from. But yeah, love that he's here. Um, but uh, can I ask, Molly's dad, his name is Tommy Gunn, right? Or what?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Tommy Gunn is also the name of a very well-known adult actor. So I could not get that out of my mind. Every time they were like, "Oh, you're the daughter of Tommy Gunn," and I was like, "Oh, that's
Well,
weird. That's an
It's also like
unfortunate
it's
like
also a nickname for an
happenstance."
actual gun, which is where I'm assuming that
Yeah,
this
I'm sure that
nickname
that's
came from.
yeah,
Um,
I'm sure that that's where they came up with that. But it's just the thing that came to mind, unfortunately. Um,
yeah. I don't really have a ton much more to say. I'll just be blunt. Because of how much I just don't care for Molly, it kind of just ruins the entire plot of the film for me. And then couple that with like okay production values and nothing that's like really bringing me in outside of two really good performances that get stymied by a lead that I just don't care for. It kind of just turns a movie that could be good into a movie that's just not great for me. Mm-hmm. This is where I'm at with it. It's not that this movie is garbage. It's not that this movie is a dumpster fire. And it's not like I'm going to look at somebody and be like, you like Uptown Girls? It's just, God, is it so not for me?
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's fair. Okay. I mean, that's fair. I really do. I sometimes, like, not every time this happens with a movie that I remember loving when I watched it in the past and when I haven't seen it in a while. And then I rewatch it and I still love it the same as I remember. But it is the case with this one. In fact, in a second watch, I was able to relate to other parts of it that because of whatever happened in my personal life now watching, I was able to relate to it in different ways, and also not being so much like Molly anymore and being, on the other side of that. It's kind of fun to look to kind of watch this movie and kind of make fun of how ways that I used to be. I don't know, like, to me, I love this movie still as much as I remember loving it the first time, just for different reasons now, which I think is really interesting. And yeah, I am glad that I was able to thrift the DVD of this, because it is something that it's still a comfort. It's a comfort film for me. I really do love it.
An unrelated note,
and I can admit that it's not for everyone. You know what I mean? That's fine.
And on a related note, support physical media.
Also, yes,
please.
Do we have any other thoughts? I feel like this was a rather tame episode in terms of like the amount of things we talked about. I think we were all relatively respectful of each other's opinions.
Yeah.
Do we have anything else we'd like to add? Are we feeling good?
Ingrid's a bitch. I did not like
it. Yeah. That was the other. I forgot about her. Ingrid got on my damn nerves. Oh my God. Okay. So I respect the fact that this is a woman who is wanting to like help her friend in her time of need, and that's great. Yeah. But like trying to, I don't want to say force her, but like basically, I mean, Molly has a point. Ingrid's kind of controlling her life, and it's just, God, it's aggravating.
Molly is also like being, because I agree, but Molly is also like kind of also being a bad friend, because like committing to going somewhere with someone and like they RSVP and you give up, like you're gonna do something else last minute and they can't take someone else because your name is already on. Like, it's just so inconsiderate. Like, she really is. And so I'm glad that like because they're both treated like they're both not being the best friend to the other person. And so I like that in the end, like they don't really, because I don't think the movie needed it as well. Like, we don't have a real conversation between them of like making up, but we kind of see them kind of looking at each other and holding hands with me, like kind of implied that they're both like, I'm sorry. Like they're good.
Yeah, we don't always need that kind of.
And she rightfully, I will say, kicked Molly out. I would have too. At that point.
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, like.
But I do agree, she was being controlling as well.
She was being controlling, and also, Ingrid's idea of fun is green tea tasting.
That's crazy. Yeah. Girl, at least let's do like coffee tasting. You know what I mean? Like at least, come on. Please.
Green tea tasting.
Those cookies though, the cookies did look bomb. I will say
Well,
those cookies did look
Yeah.
quite nice.
They looked bomb before they burst into flames.
They looked
Uh,
bomb before they went boom. Exactly. Did somebody say boom? All right. Well, it does seem like we have reached the natural conclusion point of the episode. So now, shall we get to scores?
yes.
we shall.
I would like to be clear. This is based on the movies that I have ranked above it, that I like more than it. This is not an indication as to how I feel about others liking this movie. This is just a me thing. And also, we're
No,
going
you
from
are
the
saying that
highest.
anyone that likes this movie even a little bit is fucking
Is an
stupid and
idiot.
should eat glass and die. That's what you're saying.
I've never said eat glass and die. But
I'm sorry. You went to one extreme. I had to go to the other. You know what I mean?
Of course,
So,
of course.
just
I give it
balance
1.5.
it out.
I give it 1.5, and a lot of that just has to do with the fact that I like Matilda better than this movie by a decent margin, and I gave that 2 stars. And I feel like if that is how I feel, then I cannot go higher than a 1.5. But I will say anything below a 1 is when you're getting into territory for me. We have yet to have a true 0. That might happen eventually, but currently, no, thank you. No, thank you.
No, thank you. Yeah, there you go. For me, as I said, all of these characters annoyed me for half of the movie, but seeing that growth and seeing the way that they adapted and kind of like grew as people did definitely make this movie better. It did make me like Molly a little bit more and did make me fall in love with Ray even more. Uh, it's not a movie that I think I would watch a lot or again. I'm not like rewatching this movie a lot in the future. I don't see myself doing that. But if it ever shows up or someone ever asks me if I would want to watch it, I would not say no.
You wouldn't pick it, but if someone else picked it, you'd be like, sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So I respect you, River, for liking it. I respect you, Brooke, for not liking it. As it's been stated, I'm somewhere in the middle. I gave this a 3.5 out of 5.
Valid and fair and valid. River, take us home.
Well, as I've said before, I really love this movie. There are, I think, one of the interesting things and one of the reasons why I love film so much is that we all relate to movies in different ways, and I respect everyone's thoughts and everything. And I'm excited that I still love this movie as much as I remember. And yeah, it's the ways that I relate to it and what it makes me. It's just like, to me personally, it really has a magical feeling about it to me. And it remains one of my comfort films. So to me, this is 5 stars. Not objectively, and I will say that clearly. Maybe if I was being like objective, maybe I would give it like a 3.5. You know what I mean? Like if it wasn't like if I didn't have emotional attachments to it and was trying to like do a critique for college or whatever when I was in college for it, maybe that's what I would have done. But just being like real and honest and not technical, I love this movie.
Well, as a friendly reminder to our viewers at home, we do not judge objectively, right? These are subjective feelings towards a film, right? Yeah. So if you want objective quality, go find other people who are like certified movie reviewer critics and stuff. We just talk about how we feel, and that's just how we are.
That's just our opinion.
That's just our opinion! God, wait! I wish we had that soundbite. We don't. That's unfortunate.
We should get that sorted.
Absolutely.
You know what? Though.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
That's too damn bad.
Do we have the fight song one?
Do we have it? We do.
Yay!
And on that note,
we're so back.
On that note, so normally this is the part of the program where we would turn it over to River to introduce the next movie in River's selection, which I will tell you will be at minimum more highly rated than the other two movies that I have watched from Rivers. But we'll talk about it shortly. Actually, we won't. We'll be talking about it in a different time period because we got a little something happening. So like we mentioned at the end of our recording last week for Matilda, we're doing the first of a couple very special episodes next episode. So this episode is going to be coming out on July 16th, which is next Thursday. So it's coming up Thursday for those of you who are watching at on upload date. And that is the anniversary, the 38th anniversary of Akira. And we've yapped about Akira on this channel so many damn times because we actually have watched it collectively ages ago. Before we even started the actual channel, we did watch it. We're doing it again because one, it's the anniversary, and two, we have a lot to say. Will Eduardo finally give it the perfect score it deserves? Tune in to find out.
Well, I give it like a 1 star just to piss everyone off even more. Stay tuned to find out.
Was sick while watching this again?
Spoiler, yes, I was. Yes, I was.
Spoiler alert, we filmed this video before. We filmed the Akira video before we filmed this one. So,
I was very sick while watching Akira again.
Why are you always sick while watching this movie?
Why am I always sick when I watch Akira? Anyways.
It's a very good question. One that you will have to find the answer out to in the future when we talk about Akira on the 16th. And of course, once we finish that, we're going back into River's birthday month. It's a special episode. River's still getting all 4 of their episodes this month. Don't worry about that. River, would you like to give the folks at home a hint as to what is coming after Akira?
Well, I mentioned in this episode the 2 girls and 1 teacup. We're still going to have 2 girls, kind of. 2 girls for the next pick for my month. Kind of 2 girls.
Sometimes 2 girls.
Yeah,
Occasionally
sometimes.
2 girls.
Allegedly.
Allegedly 2 girls.
2 girls.
All right. So thank you so much, everybody, for watching this talk about Uptown Girls today. Tune in to us, listen to us talk about Akira. I will tell you that episode is a lot of praise, so have fun watching that. But unfortunately, we have ran out of popcorn, drank our entire soft drink, and nobody ever gets more than 1 soft pretzel. So we're heading out of here, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Bye.